Hey everyone, Ryan here. Welcome to episode 2 of the Rant with Ryan. And if you're new, I'm that guy from EHS Concepts, the Ways of Safety. The veterans who's all about keeping folks alive on the job. But here, we're diving into the real world, current events, my take. Last time we hit on AI scams. They're fleecing the seniors left, right, and center. It's heartbreaking shit. If you missed it, check it out and drop your stories below because I'm going to read them all. Let's get into this, though. Today's rant: Trump's crushing Iran, and why strong leadership and free markets are winning this war. And man, if you're not glued to the news right now, wake up every day and see it. It's day 6 of Operation Epic Fury. And President Trump, back in the saddle, is absolutely dismantling the Iranian regime alongside our rock-solid ally, Israel. And this isn't some endless quagmire like the messes under weak-kneed liberals that we previously had. Served with that. I can say that now. Didn't care for them. So this is decisive. And being decisive is also in a conservative action. Hit them hard, hit them fast, protecting freedom, and let American capitalism do what it does best: innovate and dominate. Now, look, as a vet, I've seen what happens when leaders dilly-dally around, right? Remember Biden's Afghanistan pullout? Disaster. Or Obama's red lines in Syria that meant what? Jack squat? Shit? Nothing? And that's the left for you. That appeasement, the negotiations with terrorists that we do not do as Americans, period. Letting Iran build nukes while funding Hamas and Hezbollah. Now, but Trump, he's different. February 28th, boom, joint strikes with Israel in Operation Roaring Lion. They took out that supreme leader, right? And a genius move. Now there's no more of those chants of death to America from that tyrant. Over 2,000 strikes so far, degrading their air defenses, missile sites, command centers. And the U.S. Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Kane says, we've got air superiority over Western Iran and Tehran. That's power. That's American power, folks. And I'm going to tell you what, as a submariner, love the next part. A U.S. sub just sank an Iranian warship off Sri Lanka in the Indian Ocean, international waters. Clean shot. Man, I would love to have been sitting in sonar listening to that torpedo takeoff sound. It's little sound that it does, and the boom. Definitely. So I'm gonna tell you what, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, he confirmed it. Our torpedoes are top tier. And there's companies like Lockheed Martin and Raytheon. They're light years ahead of Iran's rust buckets. It's just true, right? It's just what it is. And that's capitalism at work. Free markets bring innovation, building on the best damn weapons on the planet. Why Iran's socialist nightmare crumbles. Our private sector thrives, creating jobs and tech that keeps us safe. Conservatives get this. You don't negotiate with evil, you crush it. Iran has been a threat for decades, right? When they want nukes, they want nuclear missiles. They back terrorists who kill Americans. We're the superpower. We're not allowing this, okay? And I know we have 6 U.S. troops down so far from their drone hits in Kuwait and Bahrain. And it's sad when we have service members that die. But we also have a thing in America where we avenge them. And, there's no more turning our other cheek or paying bribes or anything like that. We're after it, right? And we're protecting an ally, Israel. and they are the beacon of democracy in the Middle East. The whole save democracy that you hear from the talking heads on the left. Think about that. Israel is the beacon of democracy in the Middle East against that radical Islam. Hezbollah getting hammered in Lebanon. Israel's incursion there is spot on, taking out those Iran-backed thugs. And when Iran retaliates, hitting our embassy in Saudi Arabia or oil refineries in the Gulf, we hit back harder. And that's the thing. It's not that all Iranians are bad. Don't get me wrong, because there are lots of them that are not this regime. And they're celebrating. You're seeing them celebrating the streets and dancing to the Trump dance. So that's it. But that's the thing. We're hitting back harder anytime they hit us. And and Trump says, sometimes I can't talk. This could wrap up in 4 or 5 weeks, not years. That's strong leadership, ladies and gentlemen. That's clear goals. A regime change. The new program in ruins out there. That's great. And we've got confirmation that no nuclear sites hit, that's been hit yet, right? But Iran's capacity to do so, it's wiped out. It's gone. Now, let's talk about the economy, right? Pro-capitalism all the way. Oil prices are soaring because Iran is closing the Strait of Hormuz, right? And firing on tankers. And some of the shares are sliding and markets are rattled. Guess what? There's a win in this, right? This pushes us to drill, baby, drill right here at home. Trump's energy policies made us independent before. Now we'll dominate again. Fracking, pipelines, offshore. American companies like Exxon and Chevron will boom, creating jobs for regular folks like us. So there's no more begging OPEC or kissing up dictators. Iran's attacks on Qatar, the UAE, even Cyprus, that's them lashing out because they're losing. Losing hardcore. Over 20 Iranian ships sunk. Over 1,000 plus targets obliterated. Their Operation True Promise 4 is a joke. Missiles intercepted left and right and center. And don't get me started on these the Democrats, right? The Senate is backing Trump 53-47, blocking those whiners from curbing war powers. They scream, imminent threat or whatever. But the truth is, Israel was going in anyway, and Trump joined to make it a knockout. No more endless wars under conservatives. This is a victory mode. This is our victory lap, okay? Trump's even saying talks on nukes will be easier now. Most of the leaders are dead or they're hiding, and that's how you bring all of them to the table from a position of strength and power, not weakness. Now, I'm going to tell you what, as a retired Navy veteran, this fires me up. I've lost buddies to IEDs from Iranian proxies, okay? And this is payback and protection and progress. Families of those 6 fallen soldiers, Trump's got their backs. No more Biden-style betrayals. We're winning because of conservative values, faith, family, and freedom. Capitalism, it's fueling the fight. The drones, the jets, the subs, all from American ingenuity, right? And Iran's people, the regime, well, the regime is dying. But Iran's actual people, they're cheering in the streets. 47 years of oppression ending liberation. Liberation is at hand for them. And we should be celebrating along them. Okay? It's great. It's awesome. Okay? So that's this rant. Because Trump's making America great again. Conservatives are proud, and capitalists are unstoppable. And if you're a patriot, hit the like and subscribe, smash the bell. What's your take? Fellow veterans, what's your take? Are we worried about these gas prices? Are we worried about bombs or cells in the United States? Well, if we're worried about the cells in the United States, it's because of a certain administration that let a buku of some of the bitches across the border that shouldn't have. And so if we're worried about cells in the United States, well, I'm going to tell you it's because of the Biden administration. And that's sad to have that happen. But guess what? We're going to stop them. And I'm going to tell you what. Look forward to more rants because I'm bringing them. Thank you.